what's going on, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Thanks so much for taking a little bit of time today to hang out with me. I really appreciate it. And today I'm doing a video that I've never done before, which is basically like designing my own secret lair. Like if I worked at Wizards of the Coast, like what are cool things that I would design? These are kind of just like fun little ideas that I've had because I feel like a lot of times I'll be like, this would be perfect in a secret lair. And so what I have done is I have created, I'm going to say like 3.5, because one of them is really simple and we're just going to start with it. And there's not really a lot of thought, but then I've curated things that I'm like, okay, cards that I would like to see being reprinted and cards that I don't feel like you've seen a lot, cards that maybe are expensive and it would be really cool to see them with an alternate art, things like that. So anyways, let's just jump into it, and we're starting off with a really simple secret lair, which is just the Medallion cards. I feel like these are so past due for a reprint. Anybody else, these cards are really, really incredible, and they're really great commander staples, and I feel like we just haven't seen enough of them. Zelda is like in my I'm not my line of sight. I don't know why I said it like that, but Zelda is like right here, and I'm just kind of like, all right, sweetie, but you know, she's just right there. So let me take a look at, for example, like Emerald's Medallion. It was 2014 Commander. It was Tempest is when they first were seen. And then we have the Commander Anthology. I don't even remember this coming out or whatever. But anyways, they're long overdue, and I feel like these would be really, really great staples to see. I would love to see these being reprinted. I'm not 100% sure when this video is going to go up because I'm pre-filming a bunch of videos, but this I think would also work really well if they were choosing to reprint the Medallions in Commander Masters. That would also be a guess. I like just thought about that now, but I was like, these would be so great. But it's been a really long time since they've been reprinted, and I feel like this is a great Commander staple, and I would just love to see it as a thing. Okay, but that was it for the really, really easy one. Now let's jump into the like ideas and my thought process behind them. And I'm first going to start off talking about a kind of like angel-y themed one. So one of the most recent secret lairs that we got is I totally forgot like what the name of it was called, but it's the one that had Linvala in it, and I have Avacyn. And I had been waiting for Linvala to get a reprint for the longest time because when it did, it was printed in Jumpstart, but it didn't come in foil. And if you know me, you know I love foil magic cards. So one of the top cards that I have not seen get a reprint. And I feel like this is such a good card, and I honestly, you know what I think it is? I think it's because they don't want to print this in standard. I think that's the reason, but I feel like we should see this again, which is Archangel of Tithes. I love this card. I have this in that deck, and honestly, this is a really great, even if you're not playing angels, this is a really great, like sort of like little protection card, which I think is really cool, but it's only ever been printed in Origins, which, correct me if I'm wrong, was that like 2015 or something? That it's been a really, really long time. It's only ever been printed the one time. The foil is like $44 at the time that I'm filming this. It's a great card. I feel like this would be such a great staple. The second card in this little angel secret lair that I have an idea for is Starnheim Aspariant, and this is the one where your angels cost 2 less to cast. I love this card. I have it in Avacyn. Of course I do. However, I don't believe it's ever been printed in foil, so I would love to see that. This is a good one. Okay. Resplendent Angel. So super funny story about this card. I was looking for tweaks. I don't even know when I was looking at this, but I was looking at tweaks to make for Avacyn a while back, and I had seen this card, and it was funny because this card had popped up, right? And I had been like, oh, this card is cool, but it's really expensive. And then I was looking through Paul's binder, and then I was like, oh my gosh, we have one. I slotted it into Angels. I've never drawn it, I don't think. But this card is really, really cool. It's only ever been in Core Set 2019. That's insane. And then it was in the promo pack. And then the pre-release, like, promo. This card is incredible. I feel like this card just needs a reprint, and what better place to do it, I feel like, in like a secret lair or something. I think this card is really, really cool. And I think it would be really great in this little Angels idea that I have. And the last card, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I really struggled with that last card because I feel like there's a ton of different things in that last spot that I could see. But then I was kind of thinking, I feel like a lot of times you'll see like a land or something slotted in. And what I was thinking is, what about a card like Myriad Landscape with an alternate like angel art or something like that? That fourth slot I was really not sure exactly what to do with. And I think like if this were to be an actual thing, like if this did exist or they were considering reprinting these cards, I could totally see them doing that, but like with whatever in that spot, because I think a lot of these other cards are really great ideas, but that fourth slot I was like, I don't know what this would be. So anyways, that's my thought there. Okay, now let's jump into the zombie themed one that I have. As you can see, I went really hard with the themes on this. Okay, first off, we have Bojuka Bog. Bojuka Bog is like such a great commander staple. The problem with it is that it doesn't exist a lot in foil. It's been printed in like so many different commander sets and things like that, so it's a very cheap card. It's only about $1 or so, which is great. The problem is it hasn't been printed a ton in foil. I would love to see this card getting a reprint, especially with it in foil. Now, this is good. Okay, a lot of times I'm like, I feel like I just hit the nail on the head when I talked about this stuff. This is a good one, guys. If you're a zombie player, you know it's Zombie Master. Zombie Master has been printed a bunch of times. However, and I could be wrong here, I don't believe this card has ever been printed in foil. Sorry, Zelda, I just bopped you. We've got Revised, 5th edition, 4th edition, 6th edition, Beta, Unlimited, whatever. I mean, Alpha, it's like almost like $659, wild. It's been printed a couple of times, but it just isn't in foil. Now, here's what I will say, is I did see that there's apparently a 30th anniversary edition. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but this is also not in foil, so that kind of takes away that point. I don't really also know a lot about these 30th, and I don't understand a lot of those. I don't know how those are working. Anyways, Zombie Master doesn't exist in foil. This would be a perfect secret lair, like perfect. I hit the nail on the head with this one. Good job, Tracy. Okay. Another really good one is Unholy Grotto. I remember talking about this card in, I don't remember what video, and someone was like, I didn't know this card existed, and I was like, it's incredible. It has been printed 2 times. Once in Onslaught, and if you know, I love me an Onslaught foil, but they are expensive, mate. Then we also have the list, which is cool, but they're not in foil. The Onslaught foil, guys, it's $62. I can't justify it. This is a card that I just am waiting on a reprint. I'm banking on this to get a reprint, and I really hope that it will. I feel like they could just throw this in like standard, like a standard set, and just put like 3 zombies in there. I don't know. I don't feel like that would make sense, but it makes sense to me because I want it. And the last card, I also think this is another good one because it's so funny. I was looking at cards, this was a while back, but this card does exist, but it doesn't exist in foil, and it's very cheap. It's a very inexpensive card, but it's a great commander or zombie staple, and that is Tomb Tyrant. It's a great card. It buffs your team, whatever. We love it. The problem is it doesn't exist in foil. It came out in the Commander Innistrad thing. Does anybody else get like annoyed when I get why they do it, where they print the corresponding commander sets, but then it just makes things confusing because of like, oh, it came out in Innistrad. Innistrad has foils, and then it's like the commander ones, and it doesn't. And then sometimes the commander things come in foil. I just get really confused. Anyways, that's a me problem. That's probably not a you problem. Okay, that's my little zombie theme. So we've got an angel themed, we've got a zombie themed, and then I got the medallions. And now let's talk about the like death and taxes-y type of one that I kind of came up with, because I was kind of thinking about this, like, I really want to see Monologue Tax get a reprint. I think that would be great. It's only been printed in, like, again, one of those commander things. The extended art exists, but it doesn't exist in foil, which is a huge bummer. It's also not an expensive card. It's like $4 or $5. And then I also thought, well, Smothering Tithe is very similar to Monologue Tax, and I feel like the majority of people would like to see Smothering Tithe get a reprint because it's like $30 last I checked, but let's check while we're here because, well, we're here. So, I love Smothering Tithe. If I could run this and everything, I could. Okay, so it's sitting at like 20 or so at this point, and it has been printed. I mean, the Judge promo, it was Double Masters, Ravnica Allegiance, the promo pack for whatever. I can't keep up with this promo pack, so. And then it got me thinking, well, what else would we like to see in like a death and taxes-y type of thing? And then I thought about this one little magic card that I think this card is so cool. And I actually have this card on my list to buy for Marchesa. And that is Authority of the Consuls. Did anyone else read this card as Councils? Because I definitely thought that's what this card was. This card is so cool. It's only ever been printed in Kaladesh, and it's such a cool card. It's a little bit expensive, I feel like, for what it is. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's a great card. And last I checked, this card was way more expensive, but this card's really, really cool. It's about, funny, the Kaladesh one is like $3. And then the promo pack and then the foil are like 10, which is a pretty big difference. Anyways, are the promo ones foil? I don't think they are. Let's check. I don't think that these are foil. Oh, they come in both. Okay, yeah, that's like a really big price difference for some reason. Well, I should not be admitting my blunder, but I was actually I spent about 2 minutes talking about blind obedience and realized that apparently this card has been in a secret lair. I just didn't realize it. It has different art, which is why I think. Okay, so I had to change cards, but I still think that this card is a really good inclusion in that, and that is Drannith Magistrate. I really like this card, and I don't own one, and I'm pretty bummed. I really want to get one for Grand Arbiter because Grand Arbiter is all about the death, and it's all about the taxes. You get what I'm saying? And this card is so cool. It's kind of pricey though, I feel like, for what it is. You know, it's about a $10, $11, $12 card, and the foil of this, well, the pre-release foil is about 18 or so. So it's not the most expensive card, but I think this could really benefit from a reprint. And I think in this little pack of cards that I was talking about, it's kind of like death and taxes-y type thing, I think it fits perfectly, and I think this would be such a great inclusion. So guys, I had so much fun making this video. A lot of these ideas I just like had in my head, and I just really wanted to bring it to life. But I would really love to know what are some cards that you would either like to see reprinted, even if it's just not in a secret lair, but cards that you think could be in a really cool little thing. So anyways, that is it for this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll catch you all in my next one.